some mood music for you all, ladies and gentlemen.
As we try to work out where our eye line is for this, because we now have to sit 1.5 meters apart, because as Roman reminded me, someone could report us for sitting too close and we could be fined.
Anyway, welcome everyone to the Frightfully Good Vodcast with your hosts over there, Anne Rzechowicz.
G'day.
From Ozparatech and Renata Daniel from Newcastle Ghost Tours. And yes, we might be looking as though we are staring into space because we're not quite sure where we need to look.
Look over there, Renata. We've had to put the camera right back away from the screen so that we can get ourselves a distance apart. So, welcome to the Frightfully Good Paranormal Spiritual, what are we? Paranormal Spiritual something. It's going to scroll across the bottom apparently shortly. Can you hear us okay? This is what we need to know. Can you hear us okay? Now, there are comments coming up there, and I'm finding that, and your face is covered. Is my face still covered? You need to come about 20, so if I come off there, I'm off, but I should be right about here. Unless we were live in the room before we went live. Whoops. Tonight's show is brought to you by the letter K, and we are going to be looking at kinky spirits. Renata came up with this one.
Of course.
Of course. So I've been frantically trying to learn how to use StreamYard, which is what we are on tonight. Don't you dare ditch out on our screen. And so we're feeling a little overwhelmed because there are so many new things we're learning. You can probably see our whopping big microphone is sitting there. We've got our laptop here behind the Ouija board. And, you can actually see us. We're probably on the wrong side to you guys, but this is the side we normally sit on. It's just always been in reverse. And we can even do things like this. Tonight's show is brought to you by our sponsor.
You can't see a thing.
Oh, no! No! We were so organised. There we are. PsychicMediumSydney.com.au for your website needs. Now, this is the awesome Matt Tones who has built Renata's new website, which is...
It's at luckypsychic.com, but it's a website for Magickal Solutions. But you'll find it at luckypsychic.com.
And is that going to get sorted so it becomes Magickal Solutions?
I don't know. We shall see.
Well, we'll just go with it. Anyway, covered. Oh no, I've just pressed something. I've done there. Covered by the number count. Yep, that's perfect. I see. I was over here. Oh, I see. There's a number count on there. And yes, we can now, with the live.
So if we get a dirty comment, we can put it up and everyone can see it.
Yeah, everyone can hear us well. That's beautiful. Your face is covered. Or maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. So have any of you had any unusual, sexy experiences with the spirit world? If so, pop it in the comments now and I can throw it up onto the screen and share it with everyone.
Can I just press the record button for our podcast?
Oh, yes, please. Okay.
So just as we're doing this, as most of you know, so welcome to the podcast as well as the vodcast. I don't know about these things.
You're a professional actor, Renata.
For Frightfully Good. And yes, we are having a hilarious time this evening because we are using a new device, many new devices here in front of us. And so we're getting all bamboozled as old ladies. And I shouldn't be saying that.
No, I want to start a show called Old Ladies That Swear Often. And just make it for like 2 minutes and have it go, I'm fucking sick of this fucking shit. And just have, sorry, this is on your podcast.
That's all right.
I apologise profusely, but people aren't used to the older generation swearing unless they're drunk and sitting with a fag hanging out now.
Don't forget, we invented it, so stuff you.
Yeah, we're feisty old cranky witches, so that's just who we're at. And I think it would be quite funny having a 2-minute show. So someone grabbed my butt in the showers. Now this is our
Hey,
gorgeous Brooke.
Yes.
Now you see how your little comments popped up on the screen there? Are we technologically savvy? Yes, at Maitland Jail, I remember you felt quite violated by that. And if I remember, Renata, you also had an experience at Maitland Jail. What happened to you?
Yes, there's a toilet downstairs under the chapel, and I happened to go just before a whole group of people lobbed in for the evening to do a ghost hunt, and it just was quite an interesting and unusual experience. Let's just say that. I won't go into details. I didn't stay there long. Let's just go there. Didn't stay there long, but when I came out, I went, oh, well, guess what just happened to me?
She needs to go have a cigarette.
I know.
But did you feel violated, or were they trying to please you?
Oh, no, it didn't last that long. Because I was really out of there in a split second. But it was certainly one of those things that sort of, when something happens and you just don't have time to think about it because it's happened and your brain has gone, hold on, what's going on?
What just happened?
And so by the time it happened, it was over. And then I had to take time to sort of try and work out what had happened. But yes, there are certainly some ghosts that seem to still be quite naughty and a little bit randy, let us say. And folks, if you have children watching this particular episode,
time for the kiddies to leave. Auntie Anne might be saying a few bad words.
It may not be appropriate.
And I might be sitting inappropriately.
It may not be appropriate for
you can see our crotches now. I don't know if I like that. Oh, I'm used to being able to wear like pajama pants on the bottom and nobody gives a shit. Oh, you guys wouldn't give a shit anyway. Okay. And there's Danielle, who is in Kildare. We've got and somebody else up there. I'll pop their name up as well because they're from Ireland.
If we have any other overseas guests, by all means, say hello.
Roscommon. Nice.
Tell us where you are from and we'll pop it up on the screen because we can now.
Oh, that's Tracy was punched in the back at Dubbo Jail. That's not nice. We're supposed to be in Dubbo Jail last weekend.
Yeah, I know. It's been sad.
Oh, we are just going crazy. Absolutely crazy not being able to get out of the house. We've been asked if we might be able to do a little bit of pickup work for some filming we did. So they're trying to work out whether we can legally do it because Renata and I can travel together, and that's only 2 people.
Yeah.
And the other one is like the producer and the cameraman, and they can travel together, and we won't be on top of each other. So I don't know whether we can legally get away with that, but we can give it a crack, hey?
And the other thing is I heard our beautiful Alison from Haunted Horizons in Adelaide is actually doing some lone vigils on some of her sites. So if you jump over to Haunted Horizons from Adelaide, Alison will actually be going out to some of her sites and doing lone vigils, which I think is absolutely wonderful because we asked, and at a number of our sites, they've just plainly said no, they're shutting down. So, maybe the word can go out and we can ask and we can do one of these live streams where one of us is sitting here in the room and the other one is out on site. And we can take you a couple of places at least and, get that happening. And
should I also mention, we're actually streaming live on YouTube for the first time tonight as well. So this is going out onto Facebook and onto YouTube. See, we are using our time wisely to learn new skills. We've got, Mick wants to know, did Greg log in?
Not yet.
Are you there, Greg?
Not yet.
Don't think so. Greg doesn't like me. I was a little bit too friendly. Don't throw quotes of the Bible at me, my dear. I'll find all the really bad quotes. What else have we got on there? Does Stockton count as overseas?
It does, because we can't get there at the moment either.
Oh, hi, Sandy. How are you?
I would love to do a little bit of a walk through Stockton Cemetery.
Oh, we love Alison. We love Haunted Horizon. We love CAG.
Yes.
I still want to travel overseas with them when we can get friggin' overseas.
Yeah.
If we can ever go overseas again.
We will. We will.
We have to because we've still got 2 overseas trips this year lined up.
We will.
But health is far more important. We've got to remember that.
And I tell you, we're in the best place in the world at the moment
We are.
for all of this. We are locked down on an island. And as long as we don't have any more people coming from overseas that are just let out randomly onto our streets.
No, they're staying at the Intercontinental in Sydney,
Yeah.
Sydney now.
Things should be looking up. Things
Yeah.
should be looking up really, really, really well. So I'm hoping that the numbers actually drop for us here in Australia and that we get very quickly very healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we get on to our topic tonight? Keep the friggin' kiddies off the beaches. Parents, smack them down, will you? Seriously, selfish little twats. I say it as it is.
Well, our topic tonight
Apart from
is
2 old coots swearing loudly.
the topic tonight.
I'm in a mood, everyone. God help you all.
Is kinky stories from people who have had unusual
I'm moving the set.
experiences.
Hang on.
Unusual experiences
Unusual?
with ghosts, and there is a special name for that.
There is.
Of course, there needs to be a special name for
There
that.
is, and it's called spectrophilia.
Yes.
Now, but it's not just the name. There's like categories underneath. Now, if you see some good comments up there, you just
Okay.
pop them up.
I
And
will.
if you've got questions as you go, we'll pop them up on the screen. So it's a touch screen.
Yes, my darling. Okay.
Go for it.
I have a finger.
Oh, that's just perfect tonight. A finger will do it for me.
Okay.
All right, so first off,
I think she's had a tablets. Let's go.
yeah, I've had my tablets. So we've got notes. We can't hide them anymore because we just physically can't remember that much anymore because we're old. So we are.
Just get on with it, will you?
Spectrophilia is sexual attraction to ghosts or sexual arousal from images in mirrors.
What? What? I didn't read that bit.
I know, right?
Wow. Images
So,
and mirrors.
You get a bit of blood running to certain places when you see an image in a mirror. As well as alleged phenomena
Right.
of sexual encounters between ghosts and humans.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
Now-
might need more than one night.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if you get sore if you do it too often.
Stop it! Just get on with it.
That's not ectoplasm. All right, then we go on to fetish, right? So we're going to go into the subcategories under spectrophilia.
We'll be talking about her, Danielle.
So spectrophilia can be also a fetish as classified as paraphilia. This is coming from Wikipedia, peoples, in which one is attracted to ghosts or spirits. Spectrophiliacs.
I think we've got a few of those. If you are a spectrophiliac, give us a big heart.
Spectrophiliacs fantasize about ghosts. Well, I do, but not sexually. And often imagine scenarios involving sexual events between themselves or others and spirits. Ooh. Now, just to put a little note in here, there is a difference between ghost sex and ghost rape, right? There's 2 different things. So ghost sex means that you consent and enjoying yourself, hopefully if it's a good partner who is looking after you. Some people are super into ghost sex as a fetish. Now you're gonna love this. As evidenced by online communities, you can find dedicated to ghost erotica.
Oh my God! Now we need to delve into this. I need to do some more research.
I know.
This is good.
I know. This is a really good topic.
See, this is keeping you all awake, isn't it?
I like going ghost hunting, but not that much, Rashid says. But there's also the phenomena of ghost rape, when people feel like they've been assaulted by spirits against their will. So now this dude, folklorist David J. Hufford, believes that up to 15% of people experience being assaulted in their sleep by an unknown entity at some point in their lives.
Yes, that's when we get into that whole incubus and succubus.
Well, I'll be getting into that too.
And that feeling of pressure on the chest and all that sort of stuff. We've sort of covered that before.
Yes, so even with ghosts, there is the consent of issue. While some people actively try to summon demons to have a good time, others say ghosts have groped them without permission.
How dare they?
How dare they?
How
I
dare
have to go to what do they call it, human resources and HR, and have a complaint about that.
Is there ghost jail? Is there ghost jail they can be put into?
Up there.
It's all right. They can't see my eyes anyway. Is there a ghost jail?
Oh, well, this is true. Now, look, maybe we have to ask Greg about this. Greg might be able to enlighten us a little bit more.
Oh, no.
All right. So Kerry said there that would be entity case, I guess. Yes. So as Renata was saying, it goes back to the succubus and incubus as well. So the succubus, for those who missed that episode, is a demon or evil spirit who takes on the female form to seduce men. Succubus most commonly seduces men through intercourse, and it's not going to be very difficult to get them to do that. Is it? The succubus is said to take semen from the male and use it in impregnating a woman. The counterpart succubus of the Santa Park. What?
You use the S word. Never mind.
Okay. Who is that? Didn't you say ladies got groped at the Great Northern? Oh, I think that was Brooke again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Brooke gets groped often, but I think Brooke is a tiny little petite thing who looks a little bit like a schoolgirl sometimes. And maybe they think that she's this cute young thing that they can slap on the butt as they go past. I've got a little bit of a theory about that. Dirty old men. So the counterpart is the incubus. The incubus is a demon. It's said to take on male form. The incubus, much like the succubus, is said to seduce women into sex. Obviously, she hasn't done the housework for the day, been to work, fed the kids, done the laundry and everything else, and must be in the mood. And is impregnated the woman with its semen. Believes the succubi and incubi are spirits or ghosts that have sexual intercourse with men and women, classifies the phenomena of spectrophilia.
Right.
Now, are you ready for the evidence?
Has there... yes, go ahead. My question was, has there ever been a pregnancy?
Well, let's see if we can find out a little bit more. I don't know if I've got anything in my notes on that one.
Right.
But evidence.
Okay.
There is no scientific evidence.
Well, that was short and sweet.
That has been documented on the phenomenon of spectrophilia, though it has become a frequently talked about subject on ghost hunters.
Right.
And amongst ghost hunters, so it's on Ghost Adventures that Zach got his incubi and succubi a little muddled. And did you know that on the Travel Channel there is a show titled Ghostly Lovers? Has anyone seen it?
Ghostly Lovers
Ghostly
on the Travel
Lovers.
Channel.
Yeah. Now, I don't know whether we've got a freeze on the feed there or
No, we're going good.
Nobody's talking.
No.
Yeah. And
they're all enthralled with the subject.
And there are movies that have ghost sex in it as well.
Well, we know that there are a few really popular movies that we have all seen that kind of don't go into sort of ghostly pornography, but I mean, I'm sure you can name one or two.
You can be a lover without being pornographic.
That we all know. So see if you can name one or two of those.
Yes. Well, I'll give you some, while we're waiting for you to give us some of the well-known ones, I'll give you some of the lesser-known ones.
Okay.
The Entity in 1981.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you ready for this one? Star Trek The Next Generation.
What?
Season 7. There was ghostly intercourse happening.
Wow. Didn't know about that.
I know. I was a bit shocked when I saw that. Hi, Brent.
Yes, Ghost. Definitely.
Yes, Ghost. The movie Ghost.
Yep.
That was in 1990 with the gorgeous Patrick Swayze. Come
Yeah, bless
visit
his
me,
soul.
Patrick.
Oh, beautiful Patrick Swayze.
Oh, now I like the sound of this one. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. That was in 2008.
I'm sure there's
Now there is another really well-known one, which you'll kick yourselves when you forget. When I tell you
You'll
what
be
it
going
is.
back to watch all of these, now, won't you?
Another one called It Follows in 2014. But everyone's missed the big one. If I say Dana.
The X-Files?
No.
Oh.
Although that probably, knowing the X-Files. Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Yes. The original Ghostbusters in 1984.
Yes.
Was it Zool? Zool was having a moment with the gorgeous Sigourney Weaver.
Yep, Sigourney Weaver.
Not Sigrid Thornton. I get those names.
Sigourney Weaver and Zool.
Yes. Oh, the Ghost of Mrs. Muir was a TV show.
Yeah, and that was beautiful. Actually, I don't think they had any hot sex back then.
Yeah. Deanna. Haunted Horizons. I'm tapping things, but I don't know what's happening there. Yes, Zool, yes. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Yes, very good.
Now, when you go looking up these stories, there's zillions of women's stories. Zillions.
Yes.
But not many for the men.
Right. And did you end up finding
I
any?
did.
Oh.
I did.
I'm interested.
No, don't put that down on there. You'll wreck your recording.
You have my ears.
Oh, I've even got some famous people. We might leave that till after we do yours.
Okay.
All right. So this is a man story. Man was left terrified after sex with a hitchhiking ghost. I thought I was going to die, was the heading. This is written by Kaylee Dre, and it was posted on the 20th of January 2015 on the website Closer. So that's my source.
Mm-hmm.
I've revealed my source. We're doing our best on this. So, Gavin Davies, the author of Ghost Sex, plug, claims he was approached by a local man who told Mr. Davies he was tricked by a ghost disguised as a beautiful hitchhiker.
Mm-hmm.
He told Wales Online, Simeon and Graham, you're going to Wales. You'll have to drive down this road and see if you can find this lovely lass. Find someone to have sex with her. I was approached by a man who did not want to be identified because it could expose him to ridicule. Who told me he picked up a hitchhiker who turned out to be a ghost that seduced him.
Wow.
He said that he was driving back from a date that hadn't gone as planned.
Okay, I've got a theory about this.
You already? You reckon?
Never mind.
Mr.
Yes.
Davies continued to explain how the man known as John later pulled over his car and took the mysterious stranger into a public toilet.
Ooh.
How's that for classy and romantic?
First date. Says it all.
They engaged in graphic sex before something terrifying happened. The man told Mr. Davies, then I started to smell something strange. In the toilet. At first I thought it was like a cigarette smell. I was choking and I thought I was going to die. I was crying and everything. I was passing out.
Oh dear.
I just wanted a policeman to start banging on the window and save me. Now, hang on. Wasn't he in a public toilet?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He's
There could be a window there. That's all right.
I was thinking he's smoking woolly weed. I pushed her back with all my force, and there was not a pretty girl on me, but some haggard, disgusting old woman with some kind of awful skin condition. Renata, where were you in 2015? I got it a snort.
I love this
Oh
story.
my
This is
God.
our best ever. Oh, if you're missing this,
Here we go. I'll just pop that.
you're missing gold.
The vegoplasm. There we go, Matt. I pushed her back. Okay, I screamed and screamed and screamed, and she just vanished.
Yeah.
Mr. Davies, whose book Ghost Sex plug has sold over 3,000 copies online, has said he's in the middle of a story. Oh, and by the way, I wrote a book and it sold 3,000 copies, and he screamed and ran away. No. He said that it could have been affected by sleep paralysis. Now, wasn't he driving and he's picked up the girl and gone to a public toilet? And now he's hoping the policeman will bang on the window.
And he's had a bit of a nap in between.
Yeah. Right. So sleep paralysis is a condition where the victim feels wide awake but is unable to move a muscle.
Right.
It's often accompanied by delusions of being watched by a menacing presence. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's my male ghost story. No wonder he didn't want to be identified. He couldn't get his freaking story straight. That's it.
Okay.
I've got my famous ones, but I'm going to wait till you
Okay.
get to the end of yours.
All right. So let me tell you from the female's point of view. Ladies, have I got your attention now?
Oh, hang on. Lorraine's put something up there. I had my face kissed at St. Albans pub and my hair stroked. The publican watched as my long hair was moving. At one point, my hair was pulled straight up. A friend walked in behind to get a drink and saw it too. I could smell a pipe as well. It was lunchtime. Day, no wind or draft. The kiss on my cheek was real to me. Oh, that sounds nice.
We have had some experiences on our tours where people have thought that their hair has been stroked, or that someone has gently sort of rubbed their hand down one of the ladies' cheeks. So that has been something that has occurred. But let me get back to my female stories here. So I've got a few female stories that I would like to tell you. And, of course, my intelligence came off some wonderful UK sites as well. So, just throw that in there. And it says some gals have all the luck. And Cian...
Gals, as in seagull.
Gals.
Oh, gals. Okay.
And Cian Jonathan... You're going to have to move this up there. So
I can't read the comments that far
definitely back. Found the ghost of her dreams when she met Robert. In an interview with the Daily Mail, this spectrophiliac gives such salacious details. Ooh. You can almost see the ectoplasm dripping off the page.
That's called vagoplasm.
No, well, I'm just going to use this word.
That's lots of lovely words.
So Cian says, he was very handsome with beautiful hazel eyes, and as we made love, he stroked my body tenderly, and I could feel the weight of him pressing down on me. His body felt incredibly light. The whole encounter lasted an hour, and afterwards he whispered,
they had Viagra,
that
obviously.
was the most amazing thing I have ever experienced. And as we drifted off to sleep in one another's arms, a voice in my head kept asking, is this really happening? Excuse me. Sorry. So unfortunately, Cian and Robert's relationship wasn't long for this world, as Robert earned his wings and left this mortal coil.
Oh, so he was alive when they had that good sex?
Well, no. He was a ghost. So that's a contradiction there. Jamison explains, a couple of days after our first encounter, Robert arrived and said it would be our last night together. I never asked him why. I sobbed when I woke and Robert was no longer in my bed. I guess I'd been falling in love.
Do you like Dana's comment? Where can I get one of these ghosts for my husband so he'll give me a break? Can we all line up for one of those?
Now, Amanda Teague. Amanda Teague is a story you will all know very well because she was a lady that married a pirate ghost.
50 Shades of Parasix.
So, Amanda Teague, this is an Irish native and a Jack Sparrow impersonator, had a strange encounter one night in 2014. She says she was in bed when she was visited by Jack, the 300-year-old spirit of a Haitian pirate who who was slain for his misdeeds. The two became closer and eventually decided to make their relationship official in January 2018. Teague hired a registrar and arranged for a boat to take her into international waters where she and Jack were married. A medium served as the go-between between her and Jack. Wow.
And if I remember correctly, they've now divorced.
Yes, they have.
Because
It's all over Red Rover.
He wasn't keeping his end up, so to speak.
So Amethyst Realm swore off living men forever. This is how good ghost sex needs to be. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us for the very first time on Frightfully Good, please don't believe that every single episode is like this, although you never know, it might be. But normally we are very low-key.
Normally we sit closer together.
Very low-key. But things have changed in the world, so we have to adjust. So Amethyst, the spiritual
I've been burning shit. I don't have
guidance consultant from Bristol, says her intimate encounters with the deceased have turned her off living men forever, as she even went as far to break off an engagement after she got her first taste, so to speak, of the afterlife. Realm's first time with the ghost came after a few weeks of flirting when she went to bed. I was wearing a sexy negligee and lay there in the darkness. I felt a pressure all over my body.
Oh, she's run out of batteries.
The person was lying on top of me, but lighter and softer than a human. They're all singing from the same songbook here. Anyway, it was like nothing I had ever experienced. I know how bizarre it sounds, but it felt real. It was different from having relations with a man. And afterwards I slept better than I had done in years. When I woke up, I knew it hadn't been a dream. I didn't feel at all guilty about cheating because the whole thing felt so natural. Well, now, there you go.
That's an interesting concept, cheating.
Right. Can you actually cheat?
If it's all in your head.
By having sex with a ghost? No, well, allegedly it's not in your head. It's
allegedly.
In your bed.
And as my little statement said, there is no proof.
So one more here. This divorcee finally meets the man of her dreams. So the title of this story goes, everyone deserves happiness, especially divorcees who are living alone after deciding to give up on men. Anne Elizabeth describes her sexy encounter with a ghost hung straight from the pages of a paperback romance.
She's gone to sleep with the book of Mills and Boon on her chest.
I know. Lying in bed, I
Fabio
wondered
on the cover.
If I could summon a ghost to have intercourse with me. See now we're creating egregores. This is bad. This is bad. Ladies and gentlemen, do not do this. Do not do this. I envisioned a strong, handsome man with big shoulders. I kept my eyes closed throughout because I was worried I might scare him or ruin the moment if I opened my eyes. Afterwards, I thanked the ghost and asked him to leave, which he dutifully did.
Sex.
I jumped out of bed with flushed cheeks and glowing skin and went about my day.
First off, you got the tissues to mop up.
What a load of rubbish. Honestly.
What a lot of rubbish. Oh.
Laura Hale from
fun.
Louisiana believes her intimate ghost encounters are somehow tied to her persistent sleep paralysis. Could her brain be playing pleasurable yet creepy tricks on her? Or is she being paid regular visits by a sexy spectre? Well, who knows? Oh, and I love this one. I've just got to read you the title of this, okay? The Phantom Humper Strikes Again. In 2010, a woman from Florida wrote into Your Ghost Stories to tell the story of her strange encounter with a phantom humper. She said she lives alone with her 2 dogs. Surrounded by trees.
Disinfected.
After making love once to her new ghost friend, things got darker. A while back, while I was sleeping, I felt a strange feeling or something pushing me down into my bed. It weirded me out, but I kind of ignored it, as you do. Weeks later, I was awake. Well, what happened? She doesn't say. Weeks later, I was awakened by the shouting of my name. I thought
I want to know the intimate details.
it was
I
a
want to know actually
dream, and
what
I
goes
ignored
on.
it. Now, for the last weeks, as I lay down to sleep, I felt the bed shaking very lightly and like something was walking around my pillow and head like a cat might do. How very weird. I felt as if something was crawling around my legs and buttocks. Turned on the lights and checked my bed for bugs, but nothing. Okay, then it happened again, but this time I was still awake. I felt a crawling and cool spot on my anus.
What? Oh,
That
they
was there.
felt
I
a
didn't know.
cooling spot on
And-
their butthole.
Private area, and then a light,
Butthole.
and then a light pumping going on. I just can't read anything.
Oh, let me! Let me!
No, that's
Let me!
No.
I wanted to know the
There's
intimate
only-
details,
no.
please.
No, there's
I
only
can read it straight.
No,
I can
no,
read
no,
it.
no, no.
Renata,
no.
Renata.
It's just that one sentence. That's all.
I felt the crawling and cool spot on my anus and private area, and a light pumping going on. How weird is that? Sometimes like a slight pin and needle feeling. Oh, pin and needle feeling. Oh, around my hips or buttocks. What? How weird is that? Sometimes like a slight pin and needle feeling around my hips or buttocks.
Oh, have we still got people watching?
I
I think
like
we've
this.
turned everyone
Matt
off.
said that people have been in isolation for way too long. Yeah, hashtag parahumper. Ghost hunting withdrawals. Yes, details, please. Polite hole. All right. Do you want me to read the last one?
Oh, you may as well.
Never invite a demon home. One anonymous writer went in depth. Oh, I like it when they go in depth about their intimate encounters with what they thought was a ghost, but turned out to be a demon. So is that the incubus or succubus, guys? It's a tale as old as time. Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time.
Oh,
While
boy.
staying the night and doing some ghost hunting with a friend, the writer was visited by something as she slept. So we're looking for the male incubus. Incubus? Male? Is it male incubus or succubus?
Don't know.
This is where Zach got it wrong. She was visited by something as she slept. I was lying in my bed trying to sleep when I felt a sensation in my private area. It's called arousal.
What possesses women to write this stuff?
It really felt good. And it kept feeling really good.
I reckon it's men. It's men that write this. Just yeah, to get
It
this
felt
right.
so good.
Oh, okay, finish.
The woman asked the demon to come home with her, and come it did.
They are not going to. This
Yeah.
will not go to a podcast.
Yes,
will
it
not go to a podcast.
It's fantastic stuff. I've lost my spot. Upon arriving back at her house, the woman set some ground rules. Good girl, like not to come when her husband was home. Oh, sorry, not to come to her when her husband was home. After things started getting weird. I'm sorry, what? After things started getting weird?
They weren't already, obviously.
Oh, the writer did some research and realised that she was probably dealing with an incubus and called a minister to help expel the demon. Can you imagine ringing up your priest and going, "Excuse me, Father? I invited an incubus home and it was good at the start and I really enjoyed it, but now he's just
I'm
going
over
too
it.
far.
I'm over it.
You need to get him out of my house."
He's too clingy. I can't cope with a clingy ghost.
A clingy incubus. Oh my God. Bless her. All right.
Okay, you had some famous
I did.
famous people stories.
I wish Greg was watching this. Greg would really understand this, just how serious we are. Now, did you know that there's some famous people that have had sex with ghosts?
No. Right?
Legit.
Does it happen when they're in between movies? I think so. Anyway.
Anyway, now look, this person is straight down the line. You can trust every single word she has to say. She's a decent, honest person.
Okay.
Anna Nicole Smith
Oh, bless her soul.
famously had to say this about ghost sex in an interview on FHM in 2004. A ghost would crawl up my leg and have sex with me at an apartment a long time ago in Texas. I used to think it was my boyfriend, but then I woke up one day and found it wasn't.
Oh, right. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, we do not want to negate anyone who has actually had a true experience like this. Problem is that all of these lovely people that are giving their stories in to these lovely, beautiful newspapers, are saying they enjoy this stuff. So I guess that allows us some sort of ability to share these stories. That's all we're doing. We're sharing. We are sharing these amazing stories with you.
Our whole thing is to make people laugh, right? We're trying to find the fun and the lightness in paranormal.
Especially right now.
Especially tonight.
Especially right now, yes.
Are you enjoying the show? Give us some hearts if you're enjoying the show. The hearts no longer mean you've had ghost sex. They now mean that you're enjoying our topic this evening.
Lorraine, yes, I'm not going to say that, but yes, I'm sure they've been to Goop. Get onto Goop, where you can find your beautiful smelling candles of a particular type.
Are you ready for your next?
That will bring the ghosts in.
Are you ready for your next famous person?
Yes, that was Anna Nicole.
Yeah, Anna Nicole's another lady.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Now, this lady actually spells her name with a $sign.
Oh, I know who this is.
Kesha! Made it headlines in 2012 for claiming she too had boned a spirit.
Right.
Doesn't the spirit bone her? She ain't got the bone to do the boning.
Just go with the story.
Oh, well, you can unless you've got an implement.
Just go with the story.
It's about experiences with the supernatural in a sexy way, but in a sexy way. She told Ryan Seacrest on his radio show, I had a couple of experiences with the supernatural. I don't know his name. He was a ghost. I'm very open to it. Bless her.
I wonder if that's a threesome. If you can kind of. Hello, little Joe.
You're missing out on a great one tonight.
You'll have to rewind.
Now, does anyone else have any ghostly, sexy stories they can tell us? And we might even bring you on the show live to tell your story because we can. A strap-on. Yes, there we go. A Spectra strap-on. Now, if you want some more information about ghost sex, there's some books and resources that you can get to.
That's amazing.
I've researched long and hard on this today.
Wow.
There is Katie Heaney's awesome Pacific Standard piece, which is a brief investigation into human ghost intercourse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Paranormal Review radio show has an episode dedicated to spectrophilia. So if you search the Paranormal Review spectrophilia, you'll be able to find that little bit of a VOD podcast, whatever it might be.
Yep.
And there is also Discovery News did a show, What's Behind Reports of Ghost Sex.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this one, I think, by David J. Hufford is probably the quintessential one of them all.
The piece de resistance.
Yep. The terror that comes in the night. He chose that topic really well, didn't he? I think he thought long and hard. I got her! Yes! I had to say that for the last. Just for those that missed it.
No.
The terror that comes in the night.
Don't repeat it.
By David J. Hufford.
We're going to post all the links so that you can do your own research because, every good paranormal investigator does research. You just don't go off what we're telling you because we might be telling you a whole lot of lies. So you must research yourself.
No, it's on Wikipedia. It can't be a lie.
So research yourself and find all these wonderful titles and just check out what there is to find. Don't go wishing them into your home. That's the only thing, because once they're there,
Be careful what you wish for.
It is really hard to get rid of them. It really is. So
they get their little sticky sucker tendrils into your etheric bubble, and then you've got to try and pick them out one by one to get the little suckers out of there, and then you have to believe that they've gone. And if you keep thinking back to those wonderful times when you had really raunchy ghost sex,
bam, they're back.
They're back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. Look, Lorraine's having some issues with the phone. She couldn't see us or anything. Something on the screen like a dark shadow. Oh.
Well, we are talking about that type of stuff tonight.
We are.
Now, as I said before, if you've joined us for the very first time, and let me just say there are very few people on at the moment. We have lost them all, because obviously we have touched on a topic.
Yes, we've got 22 people on. Thank you so much.
I know. That's pretty low number. It's a scary topic.
It is.
It is a scary topic, and I think some people just weren't ready for it.
But I think it's going to go viral, this show.
So I do think that all of you that have stayed the length of this show deserve an applause. Thank you all very, very much. If you have any questions about the topic of spectrophilia, ask Anne. Because I'm sure she's researched so much, she'll be able to answer them for you. Don't ask me.
I was busy learning how to use this program.
And
Renata, just while we got the chance, do you want to tell people about your 20-week introduction course to Wicca, which starts this Sunday?
Yeah, starting this Sunday.
You're locked at home with nothing to do?
Yeah, I have a wonderful course.
I'll give Greg a discount.
That I am running, and it is the fundamentals of Wicca. If you are interested into going deeper into that spiritual path, then this course is for you. It is going to go for 20 weeks, and I have a dedicated Facebook page for all of those that want to jump on and be a part of this particular course. We are going to go through so many different subjects there. There will be something every week that I will be really digging deeply into, plus mindset and spell work and moon phases, all of that sort of stuff that is just going to be part and parcel of the whole
look at Matt. Matt's on there sharing your links as well. Bless you, Matt.
And it is at a disgustingly cheap price of $99.
For how many weeks?
20 weeks. That's about
20 weeks.
That's a cup of coffee a week. Almost. That's about it.
If you fall behind, can you catch up?
Yes, because everything will stay on that dedicated Facebook page. So if you can't be there for a live lesson, then you can just go back and listen to it later on.
Even I've enrolled.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, do you need the books?
There is a text that you can purchase, and I do suggest that at some point in time you do purchase it. It is written by the beautiful lady Tamara von Forslin, who is the Witch of Oz.
Is that one of these?
It is one of those, but it's the pink one.
That'd be right.
Which is the first one, the fundamental for the seeker. If you can't get it, it is on Kindle, and if you can't get it or don't have the extra money, that's the one it is, then the suggestion is just keep on coming to the class anyway. You may, over the 20 weeks, decide that you want to purchase it, but it really doesn't matter. We'll be going through a lot of those subjects, and you don't need the book.
This is really good for people who think they know what Wicca or witchcraft is all about, and who make assumptions, Greg. And I started doing some online learning probably 2-3 years ago about paganism, trying to understand, because all I knew about was what I had been taught by religion and movies. And once I actually looked at what it was all about, I went, wow, this is actually very beautiful. And I actually like being responsible for my own actions and being held to myself.
Account. Yeah, to account.
Hold myself account instead of guilt, that awful guilt that goes on all the time.
It's an awesome grounding experience at the moment. We all are a little bit in fairyland because of what is going on. So if you can give it your time, by all means, jump on to Lucky Psychic and you'll see the workshop page, and you can go directly there to the workshop page and have a look at some information about it. And yes, we've got a few days before we start. We've got quite a few lovely ladies at the moment who are really ready to go on Sunday. And
gentlemen are welcome too.
Yeah, and I am very excited to be leading this
particular
class with everyone. Now let's mention, now that we have talked about Matt, let's mention our beautiful Matt and the work that he has been doing on my
Isn't that professional? A piece of paper in front of the camera? Matt, you'd be so proud of us.
So he can be contacted on psychicmediumsydney.com.au, and Matt has 10 years of experience in setting up web pages, and he can do them simply for people like me who need them nice and simple, and he can pizzazz them.
He has the patience of a saint.
I know.
Like, even those people who think that they've got next to no computer skills, he is so patient with you, and never once did he make me feel like an idiot when I couldn't understand it.
Yeah, and
he would just break it down further. And it actually empowered me. I'm actually starting to feel more confident working with computers, and like working with this StreamYard, trying to get that set up. And we've now got a green screen, which I'm going to learn how to do pictures in the back. And I hope to do a show where we can have pictures of our trips in the background, and we can point out to you where we were and what we were doing, and we'll have a picture night, a movie night.
Yeah. So it's psychicmediumsydney.com.au, and Matt at the moment is charging about 1/3 of his normal cost when it comes to setting up web pages and web design. So again, that's www.psychicmediumsydney.com.au, and thoroughly recommend.
He not only works in the field of psychic mediums, but he is also was working with a big firm down in Melbourne. He's only just moved to Sydney and was applying for big jobs. Now, this guy has got some of the biggest influencers in the world up and running and well known. So I can't recommend him enough.
Yeah. But I think what we'll do is we'll finish up for tonight, because I think everyone is just going to have to now have a Bex and a good lie down after that particular show. And please, the thing that you can do for us, which is the most important at the moment, is share, and please watch, and please keep coming back and being a part of our lives, as we wish to be a part of yours at this point in time. Everyone's going into huge lockdowns. We are all watching cities all over the world going into lockdowns. People have a lot of time to skill up right now, but also to be part of a virtual society and a community wherever you are.
And there is a lot of free workshops that are going on at business hubs and things. I was doing one this morning on Zoom, and then I had Jenny ring me up and ask me some advice on how to run a committee meeting. I said, Zoom, I just learned about it this morning. So I was able to then pass that information on to her. Start learning. Fill your soul with knowledge while you've got the opportunity.
Because certainly knowledge is power, and the more we know, the more we can act from a wise spot.
And also keeps us our brains active, because we don't want to be in a state that we go into a depression because there is nothing to do.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to, I want to host a watch party. I want to try and get one of the Kindred Spirit episodes up, or maybe some of the New Orleans stuff, because we're going to New Orleans in September, October. We are going. And it would be good to watch some of the places that we're going to and that we're staying at. So I will organise some watch parties if you guys want to join in, and it might be during the day, it might be in the afternoon, might be at night, doesn't matter. Whoever's on can join in, and we can type little comments in as we're watching.
Yep, we shall certainly do that. Come back on Thursday night, because we'll be doing StreamYard again on Thursday night with our live tarot, which should be interesting because we can now post your questions up as I'm answering them. So
Yeah.
this is going
So
to
as
be
you
really
can see
interesting.
here, that I'm like popping people's comments up as people are putting things on there, and I'm only finding the nice comments. So let's look after each other in this crazy, crazy world.
Yep, yep.
Oh, nursing. Oh, my love. That. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for all the nurses and the doctors and the health professionals that are on the front line, and the cleaners in the hospitals who are trying to keep it all clean, the cleaners at all the various places and locations trying to keep that virus out. It is time to start wearing your gloves and masks if you've got them and you're going out to public. Now is the time. Don't hold off anymore.
Yep. And until we meet again, and I hope that is very soon. Stay safe, everyone, and we shall see you.
We may be in different locations at that stage, but it's okay. We can still do it on StreamYard, and we will be back together.
Yep. See you on the dark side, everyone.
See ya. Love yous all.
Bye.
Now I've got to work out how to shut this bloody thing down. It would be the end broadcast.
Yep.
Bye. Oh, no. Yes.